The procession has just entered the pandal, led by Shraddha Chitare, controller of examinations, who is carrying the ceremonial mace or the Nyan Dand. The convocation is a time to reflect on your academic accomplishments. As a ceremony, it is filled with symbolism and tradition. Your participation today in this ceremony is a way to define the culmination of the academically rigorous time spent at this university, setting the foundation for your future professional and personal life. The ceremonial entering of the academic procession symbolizes this tradition. The academic procession includes members of the university's Board of Management, Academic Council including Deans of Faculties, D.Lit awardees Mr. Pankaj Kanaksi Khimji and Dr. Raman Ganga Kherkar. Kindly join me in welcoming the procession with a huge round of applause. I request the audience to remain standing till Chief Guest Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India, the Honorable Chancellor, and other dignitaries are on the dais and the national anthem is sung. Please remain standing for the national anthem. International students from 9 countries who are members of the International Student Council are joining in the rendition of our national anthem.
Janagana mana adinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladitaranga Tava Shubha Name Jage Tava Shubha Ashish Mage Gahe Tava Jaya Gata Janagana Mangala Dayaka Jaya He Bharat Bhagya Vidata Jaya He Jaya He Jaya He Jaya 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 He.
On the occasion of the 19th Convocation ceremony of Symbiosis International Deemed University, it is my privilege to welcome the distinguished dignitaries. The Chief Guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India. Professor Dr. S.V. Muzumdar, Chancellor, Symbiosis International University. D.Lit awardees Mr. Pankaj Kanaksi Khimji, D.Lit awardee Dr. Raman Ganga Kherkar, Dr. Vidya Yeravdekar, Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Rajani Gupte, Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Rajiv Yeravdekar, Provost, Faculty of Health Sciences, Dr. M.S. Shezul, Registrar, Shraddha Chitare, Controller of Examinations, members of the Board of Management and Academic Council, Deans of Faculties of the universities, invitees, successful students receiving their degrees today, and their family members. I now request Dr. M.S. Shezul, Registrar, to take the proceedings further.
Chancellor, sir, I request you to kindly declare the 19th Convocation open.
I declare the Convocation open.
Thank you, sir.
I now request Dr. Vidya Yeravdekar, Pro-Chancellor, to deliver the welcome address for this very special occasion.
A very good afternoon to all the members gathered here. The chief guest for this function, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharam, the Minister for Finance, Government of India. The Chancellor of this university, Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, sir. The Vice Chancellor, Dr. Rajani Gupte. The Provost for Faculty of Health Sciences, Dr. Rajiv. The Registrar of this university, the Controller of Examination, Board of Management members, Academic Council, faculty members, the 2 very prestigious D.Lit holders, Mr. Pankaj Khimji and Dr. Raman Ganga Kherkar. We also have August members from the Embassy of Yemen and the Embassy of Oman, the Consul General of Oman, Mrs. Muzumdar, and my dear wonderful students, which is a sea of students, now alumni, that we see in front of us. Ma'am, let me welcome you first formally here to this beautiful campus, which is located over 400 acres. Dr. Muzumdar sir will, of course, speak more about Symbiosis, but let me welcome all the dignitaries who have gathered here in large numbers, the parents and the students who will be receiving their degrees, diplomas, and of course the PhD degrees as well. Symbiosis, which commemorated its 50 years very recently on the 6th of March 2022, and we were fortunate to have the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, come here and acknowledge the contribution of Symbiosis, and more importantly, the contribution of Dr. Muzumdar sir in the field of education. The motto that he gave us when he established Symbiosis in 1971 was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, believing that the whole world is one family. It so well resonates with the motto of G20, and each of us as Indians is proud that the G20 presidency is with us, and the motto of G20 is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Ma'am, as we discussed during our journey from the airport to here, that we at Symbiosis not only impart quality education to make our students employable, but we also inculcate good values, morals, and develop their characters and personalities so that they become proud citizens of this country and eventually proud citizens of the whole world. Thank you very much once again, ma'am, for accepting our invitation amongst your busy schedule, and I welcome you here on the soil of Symbiosis. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I request Chancellor Professor Dr. S.B. Muzumdar to felicitate the chief guest, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India. Thank you, sir. At Symbiosis, students from 85 different countries study with students from all states of India. International students will now present miniature flags of their respective countries to the Honorable Minister. In respect of their appearance on the dais, we have students from Afghanistan, Australia, Bangladesh. Please join in as our international students have their flags coming through. Bhutan, Botswana, Chad, Djibouti, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Indonesia. I hope for an equal cheer for all other countries. Iran, Iraq, Kenya, Nepal, Nigeria. Louder, I think we can get louder than that. Somalia, South Korea, South Sudan, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Tajikistan, Tanzania, Please keep the claps rolling. Thailand, Togo, Uganda, and last but not the least, Yemen. Dr. Rajni Gupte, ma'am, Vice Chancellor, will now present the flag of Symbiosis International Deemed University. Dr. S.B. Mazumdar, Chancellor, will now present the flag of the United Nations. Thank you. The symbolism of this felicitation ceremony is especially significant as we look forward to a future filled with peace and harmony between different nations, people, and ideologies. I now invite Dr. Rajni Gupte, Vice Chancellor, to present the annual report of the university.
Good morning. It is my honor to present the annual report of the Symbiosis International University for the year 21-22. Symbiosis was established by Professor S.V. Mazumdar, and the campus we are in is the main campus of the university at Lovely. These are the other locations in Pune, and we have today 39 constituents spread across India offering undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral programs. The off-campus centers, as mentioned above, are 5 in number. The university is a multidisciplinary university in Faculty of Law, Management, Computer Studies, Health Sciences, Media Communication and Design, Humanities and Social Sciences, Engineering and Architecture. We offer 84 programs at the undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD in 8 disciplines to around 20,000 students. The academic year 21-22 was a year where the pandemic actually continued, and most of our students stayed away from the campus for practically the whole year. In this year, we started 2 new institutes, the Center for Management Studies at Bangalore, offering a BBA program, and the Institute of Technology at our Nagpur off-campus center. The ones in red are the ones which were started at the off-campus centers, and the others were started in Pune. During the COVID year, the teaching learning initiatives had to be different from earlier years. We adopted blended learning, we adopted innovative interactive online tools, software, and MOOCs. Guest lectures were organized through international faculty, ambassadors, and industry stalwarts. And a glimpse of our distinguished professors in the various faculty. You can see here Shri Amitabh Bachchan, Professor Emeritus in the Faculty of Media and Communication, Master Chef Sanjeev Kapoor, former ambassadors, we have some of them, and Mr. Pavan Verma. Let me now bring you the key highlights of the academic year 21-22. We created the task force for the implementation of the NEP 2020, which was on the national agenda. We had 8 expert groups comprising internal and external experts in the topics that were of relevance in the NEP. This was presented to the Honorable Minister of Education, and this was a grand event where we had vice chancellors from across Maharashtra participating in the roundtable. On research, I'm happy to tell you that the earlier 7 research centers were enhanced by adding 4 new research centers in this academic year. The research centers are on applied artificial intelligence, behavioral studies, medical image analysis, nanoscience and nanotechnology, stem cell research, waste resource management, and legal studies. We added on relevant topics like climate change and sustainability and urban studies. The international research project funding is something that I would like to highlight over here. We have received large amount of grants from Erasmus+, from DAAD, UCIFI, UKIRI, Spark, and Aston University, and the Shastri Indo-Canadian Institution. These funds, especially the Erasmus funds, are for varied topics like water and wastewater treatment, enhancing quality assurance, prevention of antibiotic resistance, dementia care in Southeast Asia, maternal health, aging, and wellness in rural India. Entrepreneurship development, another topic that's close to our heart. The Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship Innovation provides support to startups in various areas. The university was ranked in the Atal ranking at number 10 in 21-22. We had 23 incubated startups in that year, and we trained around 130 women entrepreneurs in that year. We launched the SIU Deakin Women Entrepreneurship Research Alliance. This was actually born out of the Spark project that we had with Deakin University, and this led to an alliance which studies women in both countries. Internationalization at SIU, this is in the DNA of Symbiosis, as you've just had a look. The three facets of internationalization that we see at SIU are collaboration in teaching, learning, and evaluation, collaboration in joint international research projects, as well as collaboration for extension activities. On collaborative international learning, where faculty from Symbiosis and faculty from foreign universities jointly design and deliver a program to students of our university and students of their university. Here we have had collaborations with universities in UK, in Egypt, in US, in Singapore, and COIL courses, which are credit-bearing courses, have been developed by our faculty and delivered along with foreign faculty. We also held large number of research colloquia, webinars. We conducted the e-Study India program, and we also launched a large number of e-academies on the internationalization of higher education. As you can see, this is all in the online mode, and it gave us a great scope for us to experiment and go ahead. Our community outreach program and extension is equally strong. These are some of the glimpses of our field work. Sports and wellness initiatives have been active in spite of the COVID and the lockdown. We made sure our students at home, our staff and faculty at home were equally active by holding virtual sports quizzes, activity breaks, self-fitness tests, etc. The focus on mental health and mentoring is something that I would like to mention because this is the key feature of the COVID, where we realized that students sitting at home did need help of counselors. So a large number of activities were conducted by our Center for Emotional Well-being. Some of these activities which were for our faculty, staff, as well as for the students. We nurture biodiversity. Specifically, the biodiversity cell of the university continued active during this academic year and conducted a large number of online sessions for the students. In fact, 63 online sessions were conducted on biodiversity, wildlife, and conservation. The major events conducted by the university, we inaugurated the Symbiosis Arogya Dham, which was at the hands of our Honorable Prime Minister. The Symbiosis Arogya Dham is one of its kind in the country where medical education and health services are both being provided. All the domains, allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, Ayurveda, and other relevant medicines would come together for the patients to have a choice. We also inaugurated the Center for Skill Development at Nagpur at the hands of the Honorable Minister, Shri Nitin Gadkari ji. Major conferences that we held was the Conference on Internationalization of Higher Education, the 6th edition, as well as Sim Health, which was organized in April 22. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. I now invite Professor Dr. S.B. Muzumdar, Chancellor, Symbiosis International Deemed University, to address the audience.
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. The chief guest of the 19th Convocation ceremony of Symbiosis International University, Mrs. Nirmala ji Sitaraman, Pro-Chancellor Dr. Vidya, Dr. Gupte, the Vice Chancellor, Registrar Dr. Shedul. We have in the audience some of our prestigious guests. We have Mr. Dara Damania sitting in the audience. Thank you, Dara, for gracing this occasion. We have Pradeep Bhargav. We have Saurabh Gadgir, Saurabh, thank you so much. And Sandeep Vaslekar, who recently published a book called A World Without War, and I was present for that function. We also have Sanjay Ruikar, and of course, my wife, Mrs. Muzumdar. We have graduating students who are sitting here. And madam, there are 600,000 students who will be receiving degrees today from our university. I congratulate all of you and wish you all the best. Madam, there are more than 1,000 universities in India. Symbiosis International University is one of them. But this university is unique, different. And the reason is, Symbiosis was established in 1971 for the welfare of international students, to promote friendship and understanding between foreign and Indian students, and that time I was professor of botany in Ferguson College. It was not my intention to start a university or even a college. As a professor, I realized many problems faced by foreign students studying in Pune. And it would interest you to know that Pune is the favored destination of foreign students, especially those from Upper Asian countries. I will take little more time. Madam, when I was professor of botany on the Ferguson College campus, I was also a rector of one of the hostels. And in 1969, I saw a young girl in skirt giving something to her boyfriend in the hostel through window. It happened once, twice. I thought there was some affair going on. And so I entered into the rooms of that hostel, and I saw a student from Mauritius, I know his name, Sakaram, suffering from jaundice. And when I asked him, what's the matter going on, what's the affair going on, he said, sir, this is Diwali vacation, mess is closed. And the girl who gives me food through window happens to be my sister, preparing food for me. Why she was giving through window? Because as on today, even then, girls were not allowed to enter into the boys' hostels. This set me thinking that Sakaram put his head on my shoulder, started profusely weeping. And believe me, madam, the tears of a foreign student was a turning point in my life. In 1969-70, there were about 800 students from 32 different countries, coming from Upper Asian countries. They had heard about Mahatma Gandhi, they had heard about Gautam Buddha, and many of them, especially from Buddhist countries and African countries, they came to Pune for their higher studies. But instead of getting cultural thrill, they used to get cultural shock. they found that Pune people do not want us. I will give only one example. There was a student from Ghana studying in Film Institute of India. That time there was no TV. When I started interviewing him, I asked him, what were your problems? How did you solve them? Why did you come to India? Why did you select Pune? And he said, sir, I would like to run away from your city and country as early as possible. I said, why? He said, because when I get up early in the morning and go to toilet, your Indian students either close their eyes or turn their heads. Why? Because I'm black. And your students feel that saying anything black early in the morning is a bad omen. When I am traveling in your local buses, there may be space besides me. But your Indian girls will prefer to stand rather than to sit besides me because I was black. Believe me, madam, as I told you, this was my turning point in my life. We started a small organization called Symbiosis, a botanical word, meaning living together of two different plants or animals for mutual benefit. We thought that although foreign and Indian students have different culture, different nationalities, different mother tongues, after all, they are all human beings. In all of them, the color of the blood is red. Smiles are the same, the tears are the same. And so we started a small organization called Symbiosis in a small room in the bungalow of on the Ferguson College campus. We started then what we call Symbiosis International Cultural Center. We used to organize cultural programs like Eid, Baubiz, Diwali, Christmas, so that foreign and Indian students will come together on one stage. But again, after function, again there was segregation, again there was no dialogue between Indian and foreign students. As a teacher, then I thought, madam, what if I start educational institutions? They will live together for a longer period. They will study together in the library, play together on playground, and thereby promote international understanding. And therefore, the first motto of Symbiosis, way back in 1971, was Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Udara Charitanam Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Those who have noble minds, those who have generous minds, regard this universe as one family. And we started education institutions. We have now 40 education institutions. Our Vice Chancellor has already told us the performance of this university. But now, as a senior person of this university, as a former professor, as a teacher, I feel, madam, that merely giving education is not enough. Merely giving good placements, not enough. Merely giving good research guidance is also not enough. Then what is required? What is required today, madam, is introducing morals, moral education, values in education. I do feel that education without morals will produce only educated monsters. Hitler was a monster. He was educated. Bin Laden, a monster, he was educated. There are so many engineers, so many doctors, so many professors, so many technologists who are very intelligent. But they are responsible for unrest, conflict, battles, and even wars. And so, after completing 50 years, we as a university have discovered and decided to have a wonderful mission of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. We started a small course in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And I was surprised, I myself was surprised that it got a wonderful response, not only from students, from citizens in Pune. So far we have been thinking Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam only as an Upanishadic thought. It is in the realm of spirituality, philosophy. Yes, these are the realms under which one can think of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. But as a university, we want to bring that concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam even under the domain of science and technology. And recent pandemic has shown that if people decide, if doctors and scientists decide, they can discover vaccine in less than 2 years. And COVID-19, we discovered vaccine. Normally it requires 10 years, 14 years, 20 years. And therefore it is necessary that people of different countries, scientists and priests, technologists and philosophers, doctors and lawyers must come together to know the real implications of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And fortunately, madam, you are presiding as a chief guest on a very, very special occasion because our popular, beloved Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, was here on 6th March, told the entire audience, and he told me, Dr. Muzumdar, even if you want to do Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, you can do that only if India is strong. Only if one nation, Sashakta nation. And therefore, G20 also has the similar motto. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, and one future. And to mark G20 summit, we propose to permanently start a think tank, a center of excellence on Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And we want to bring, as I told you, priests and scientists together. Clap loudly, yaar. Thank you. Madam, you are a finance minister. You control the finance of the country. This is a concept worth your consideration. And believe me, if you can bless us, if you can support us, this idea of establishing a center of excellence, studying scientifically, philosophically, technologically, the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam will be unique contribution of this country to the entire world on the occasion of G20 summit. And if it is possible, and for you nothing is impossible, as a token of appreciation, as a token of goodwill, good wishes, think of donating something through your budget this year. More than that amount, it is the recognition from you. It is the appreciation from you. It will be our blessings from a finance minister of this country. Be that as it may, my dear students, you are really lucky to have finance minister as the chief guest. You will never forget that today you have received degrees at the hands of finance minister of this country. What should I tell you on this occasion, my friends? Some of you belong to engineering faculty, some belong to social science faculty, some belong to science and technology faculty. Whatever may be your faculty, you are a graduate today. And don't think that you have stopped being student today. In fact, you are a practical student from tomorrow. You will continue to be a student throughout your life. We call it a lifelong learning. As a senior person of this university, as the chancellor of this university, I would like to give you only one advice. Nowadays, you don't like more advice from senior persons. Only one advice. You have brain, you have heart, you have stomach. Brain controls the nervous system, heart continuously pumps the blood, and your stomach continuously digests the food which you eat. Yes, they are the biological functions. But can you train your brain to think of innovation, something new, something which has not been done by anybody? Because innovation is the driving force of any country. Innovation creates wealth, and India needs innovators. That is not enough. Can you train your heart to inculcate, to imbibe a wonderful feeling of compassion? And you will understand that compassion will give you a lot of joy, happiness. Can you help somebody who is needy, who is in need? Can you provide something to a hungry person, the person who doesn't have adequate clothes? And finally, can you teach your stomach, your belly, to think of passion? Because without passion, and it has been my experience as a teacher, my dear students, without passion, nothing happens in your life. So, innovation in brain, compassion in heart, and passion in belly, fire in belly should be your mantra of your life. And I'm sure instead of you running after jobs, the jobs will run after you. I wish you all the best. Keep on remembering this wonderful university, wonderful campus with rich flora and fauna. Madam, I have seen some students crying when they join this university because they remember their parents. But when they complete the course, they start crying. Why? Because they are required to leave their hostels from today onwards. But remember that this university will always be your guardian. This university will help you in all your difficulties and problems. This is not ordinary university, my dear students. This is an university established by a teacher like me. Thank you. God bless you. Say Jai Hind. Are Jara loudly. Still louder. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your ever-inspiring words. We now move on to the conferment of the Honorary D.Lit Awards for this year. Each year, the university confers the Honorary Doctor of Letters upon eminent individuals who have proven their expertise, scholarship, and overall contribution to making the world a better place. The university is proud to award the Honorary Doctor of Letters this year to Mr. Pankaj Khimji and Dr. Raman Gangakherkar. I request the Chancellor to confer the Honorary D.Lit to Mr. Pankaj Khimji. Mr. Pankaj Khimji, Director at Khimji Ramdas Group, is an admired business visionary in the Sultanate of Oman and has distinguished himself in the fields of business, entrepreneurship, innovation, sports, and philanthropy. I invite Mr. Pankaj Khimji to deliver his acceptance speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Pankaj Khimji will now be delivering his acceptance speech.
Good afternoon. Namaskar. Professor Mazumdar, Dada, Mrs. Mazumdar, I, Dr. Rajiv, Vidya, my dear sister, Swati, rest of the Mazumdar family, and of course, the distinguished guest of honor today, the Honorable Finance Minister of India. I come here with great humility, humbled by your gesture of according me with the D.Lit Award. Life, as Dr. Professor Mazumdar said, it's about passion, it's about commitment, and it's about that fire in the belly. A 150-year institution, a family business that migrated from India in the 1860s, 1870s, have imbibed just that passion. And the four value pillars that we stand on is care, trust, commitment, and lifelong learning. I hope that you, graduate students today, will imbibe some sort of a value system within you as you go and forge a future for yourselves. Honorable Finance Minister, thank you very much for being here. It's a pleasure meeting you. Dada, I can't thank you enough. And this has been a most cherished moment for myself, my wife, and my children. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, and welcome to the Symbiosis family. I now request the Chancellor to confer the Honorary D.Lit to Dr. Raman Gangakherkar. Dr. Raman Gangakherkar is a renowned physician-scientist dedicated to working in the fields of epidemiology and communicable diseases, AIDS, and a strong commitment to enhancing treatment literacy to public health. I invite Dr. Raman Gangakherkar to deliver his acceptance speech.
Mazumdar sir, Dr. Yeravdekar, and the management. These awards, they tend to overwhelm. It puts an onus on all of us to strive higher in different areas. I don't know who motivated me. Was it Dr. Muzumdar? Was it the inequality that we saw in HIV? The poor people who didn't have access to any, whether preventive or treatment support, to bring them together, sit with policymakers, empower them, was one of our passion, in addition to research. I think what we need, if I was to say, add to what Dr. Muzumdar said, to the passion that we must have, is an aim to make difference in people's life. All of us can do that. I thank the Honorable Minister to have given me this delit. And I also thank everyone. And I hope this will not only motivate me, but motivate all of you to try and do our best for our great nation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I now invite Vice Chancellor Dr. Gupte to announce the recipients of the Chancellor's Gold Medals and other prestigious awards. The awardees are requested to come on to the dais to receive their awards when the Vice Chancellor announces their names.
I request the following students to come on the dais to receive their awards. The Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Indian Student in the Postgraduate Program goes to Suhana R. from the MBA program, SEMHRD. Congratulations, Suhana. The Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing Indian Student in the Undergraduate Program goes to Taresh Bakshi of the BBA LLB program of the Symbiosis Law School, Pune. Congratulations, Taresh. The Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing International Student in the Postgraduate Program goes to Roshan Kumar Gupta from Nepal from the MBA ITBM program, Symbiosis Center for Information Technology, SEIT. Congratulations. The next Chancellor's Gold Medal for the Best Outgoing International Student in the Undergraduate Program is being awarded in absentia to Fernanda Chata from Malawi from the BBA program of the Symbiosis Center of Management Studies, SEMS, Pune. I move on to the late Jayati Deshmukh Award for the Best Outgoing Girl Student. It goes to Nikita Yadav, BSc Nursing, Symbiosis College of Nursing. Congratulations. The late Sri Satpal P. Malhotra Gold Medal for Excellence in Business Management by Wakefield goes to Mr. Yadav Pranil Prakash, MBA program, Symbiosis Institute of International Business, Pune. SIBM Pune, my mistake. SIBM Pune. Congratulations. The Nani Palkewala Memorial Trust Gold Medal to the topper in LLM program, in the Symbiosis Law School, Pune, goes to Divya MB, LLM program, Symbiosis Law School, Pune. Congratulations, Divya. The late Chetan Dattaji Gaikwad Gold Medal to the topper in Bachelor of Technology Civil Engineering program in the Symbiosis Institute of Technology goes to Ashwini Kumar, BE, BTech Computer Engineering from the Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Pune. Late Shri Daji Kaka Gadgir Gold Medal to the topper of MBA International Business goes to Pai Gauri Praveen, MBA International Business from the Symbiosis Institute of International Business. Congratulations, Gauri. The next award is the Lieutenant General Dr. M.A. Tutakne, retired. Gold medal for the best outgoing undergraduate student goes to Mahajan Isha Bipin from the BA Liberal Arts Honours Program from SSLA. I understand that she is absent, but can I request one of the parents to come up and receive the award, please? Congratulations. The late Shri Prabhakar Trimbak Sonamne Gold Medal for the girl topper goes to Ramya Ramesh from the MBA Operations Management Program of the Symbiosis Institute of Operations Management, SIOM, Nasik. Congratulations, Ramya.
The Professor Dr. S.B. Muzumdar Award for the Outstanding Foreign Student of the Year was established by the Chancellor in 2016. The award carries a citation and award money of Rs 1 lakh from his personal savings in recognition of the exemplary achievements of a foreign student studying in India. I now request the Chancellor to announce the recipient of the Professor Dr. S.B. Muzumdar Award for the Outstanding Foreign Student of the Year 2022.
Outstanding Foreign Student of the Year, Rubina Weber from Nigeria.
May I request the Honorable Minister to award the Professor Dr. S.B. Muzumdar Award for Foreign Outstanding Student of the Year to Obinna Favor from Nigeria. Favor is currently pursuing the 3-year Bachelor of Science degree in Culinary Arts from the Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts. Thank you, Madam. I invite Obinna Favor to deliver her acceptance speech.
I am very happy today. I am extremely honored to be receiving this award as the Outstanding Foreign Student of the Year. I owe gratitude to God and the rest and so many people today. First, to my parents and my family back at home for all the prayers and words of encouragement they give me every day. To Dr. Anita Madam, Rupali Madam, and the rest of the SCIE team, for all the welcomeness they show us as the international students in India. It is very pleasant. To the faculty and the staff of Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts, because of the kind of education we get there, it is very pleasant, and I am happy to be in there. Symbiosis International University has been a home away from home for us. So coming here as strangers, we've gotten to be friends with so many people. So we came here and we have found mentors in our teachers and friends amongst our colleagues, right? And Following the anthem that we say, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, I am very proud to be a member of this family. Thank you. During the last round of the interviews, Dr. S.B. Mujumdar sir had asked me, he said, Favor, what is the happiest day of your life? I am a very happy person. People who know me, I smile all the time. But that day, I couldn't pick out a particular day. I was so happy, like I could say it was the happiest day of my life. But today, sir, thank you so much. I have the happiest day of my life. I am really happy standing in front of, thank you. Standing in front of the crowd, distinguished visitors, the Minister of Finance, and the graduating students, and on behalf of my family back at home, I want to say thank you so much. My parents are watching this from home, and they are really grateful. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Congratulations, Obinna. I now invite the chief guest to address the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Government of India.
Good afternoon on this joyous occasion. It's so nice to be here among the students who are all ready to receive their degrees, certificates, and the medals. Congratulations to each one of you. You've done brilliant work, and today is your day. The founder and most respected educationist, Dr. S.B. Majumdar, the Pro Vice Chancellor, Vidya Erabadekar, also the Vice Chancellor Rajni Gupte, and all other dignitaries on the dais. The two dignitaries who've received the D.Lit Awards, who've been conferred the degrees for their exemplary work. One who represents Oman in India, who's been an Indian origin person who settled in Oman for over now 3 generations, I would think, for his excellent work between the two countries, and also the way in which he is probably spending a lot of time in recruiting and also in skilling of people. And the other is Professor Ganga Vadetkar, who actually, not so much his name, but his face was the visible face of confidence and hope during the pandemic. And therefore, that is one award for which I personally thank the university for having recognized the immense service. And that's not any kind of service. Even as the vaccination was expected, the vaccines hadn't come yet. Even as the world was still struggling to share the very few vaccines that were available, and even as many parts of the world had no vaccine at all, the words of hope and confidence, with a scientific rigor and a very assuring confidence with which he would speak, was seen by all Indians. And therefore, that was the only medicine we had against COVID at that time, which he dispensed so very carefully in dose by dose after day, and therefore built the foundation for India's COVID-19 response. So for that, my personal respect and regards for the great work he's done. Convocation addresses are normally very difficult for the person who has to deliver it. and even more difficult for the students who are waiting to get their certificates and go celebrating the day, for having to sit and listen to what is being said. And most often, it is also tempting for people to come out with profound advices. I'm carefully avoiding doing that, but yet recognizing that it's not going to be easy for me to convey to this large gathering of students who are waiting to receive their degrees. I would want to certainly say some ideas. The sharing of ideas is what I call it, not certainly advice, but thoughts nevertheless for you to mull over and also probably recall as and when you think it has some relevance, because I think I'm conveying what many elders today feel about what my India or what our youth of the world will want to think about. So I'm more conveying it as thoughts which I like to share with you, and therefore, hopefully you'll take it in that spirit. I'll start with the words of a poet-philosopher, a Persian poet-philosopher at that, Jalaluddin Rumi. There's somebody from Iran here, so they are not very, very abstract in their words, but they are so direct, and I think therefore they are very relevant for all of us today, for you, for me, for anybody else. He says, and I'm paraphrasing because exact translation is very difficult, but I'm sure there are scholars who can look at it. He says, yesterday I was clever. Yesterday I was clever, so I changed the world, or attempted to change the world. That's my addition. Yesterday I was clever, so I thought I can change the world. I changed the world also, perhaps, I don't know. So his lines are, yesterday I was clever, so I changed the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. So I think this is going to be something which doesn't have to wait for years of aging for any of us to feel and realize. When we are young, when we have all the gusto in us, and when we think the world is before me to change it, you're right, and that is the energy of the youth which is so required, and I'm sure this house is full of it. And I'm sure from here you're setting out on a course to change the world, which is very welcome. But each gradual day that dawns on us, we realize that from yesterday to today, we slightly have a different perspective of the world, and as a result, you realize it'll be easier for you to also keep changing simultaneously. And why would I want to say this at the very beginning? Because those of you who have been in India, and I understand there's a large international crowd, and many of you would probably have experienced through your elders, through your parents, through your cousins, the kind of things that I just want to put before you today. If it were to be 1970s in India, or mothers and fathers were queuing up to get even a cooking gas connection. Then you came to a 1980s where you were looking at landline phone numbers. You wanted a member of parliament to give you a recommendation letter saying, I need my landline phone at home. Telephone landline was a luxury at that time. So the 80s passed on like that. I'm only naming one item per decade. So the 80s passed on like that. And came the 90s, there were a few other things, but most interesting is rapidly from the landline, you thought it was a big deal to have a cordless phone at home, because from one room to another you had this mobility which was extended even as you had just one landline. quickly, you also had a little pager kind of a thing which only doctors used for some time. Then all of us started using. Please get back, or come and call on the phone. Or there was a ping which would say, call this number. We thought that was rapid change. Then afterwards came a huge piece which was a mobile phone, which I can't imagine. We used to hold those ugly big ones. But we thought, wow, now I can sit in my car and receive a call or move from one place to another, but always be connected. So that was fine, 90s. Then came those fantastic Blackberries, which said not just calls, you can also get your messages, you can also get your emails. And further came the other phones. But before it was 2000, 2010, you see, phones are now everything. You have an iPad. And in between, of course, I forgot to tell you, we also had these little gadgets which were very sleek, which helped you to have all your music loaded onto them, and you could move from one place to another, didn't have to carry a whole lot of cassettes or CDs or whatever. It was all there. You could hear it all. It was very thin. It could go into your pockets. So we thought, oh, good change. Not just connectivity, but information, not just information, entertainment, music, and so on. But come the 2000s, I want to take all of you all back one step to say, what happened? We still had currency notes and coins with which we bought and sold things. Then came, of course, even earlier, we had writing out a check and saying, I've paid you, go take it from your account, but I've bought the stuff. The story of bounced checks I'm not bringing in here. But anyway, you paid it, and then you got your stuff. Then you also had this change into, you don't need to carry checkbooks. You have a plastic card, which is very thin, which you can use. And accordingly, you also had these machines into which you could swipe. And therefore, there were two-way developments in terms of not waiting for currency note, not waiting for coins, but you had these very quick changes all through the 90s. Checks were earlier also present, but I'm seeing the evolution. And then came this fantastic thing saying, oh, not just SMSs, not just emails, not just anything else, the talking, not just the music, not just also some of the streaming that you do, but money is also in your mobile. You could pay or your account could receive. So rapid change in terms of way in which technology was taking over our lives, and we were happily moving, lapping it all up. We liked it. We enjoyed it. And we continue to enjoy it. Today we use QR codes to do anything that we want to transact. So the sum and substance of this, in our own generation, we are seeing this country, and probably many others as well, moving from scarcity to a level of sufficiency. I'm not saying abundance yet. From a level of scarcity, we didn't have enough to give every household a cooking gas. But today we are able to go search for houses which don't have such a cooking gas and tell them, please, it's good for your health, take it, we are giving it to you. So from scarcity, we've moved to an India which has enough and probably enough and more. We are also moving from an India which had n number of restrictions. You can do this, but. You can do that, but. You can, but. So you had every agency coming before you to say, yes, you can, but so long as you do A, B, C, and you're spending years finishing the A, B, C, the compliances. We've moved from that as well. And we are still moving ahead because there are still many more areas in which you had these kind of restrictions. So the movements are so obvious and they are so affecting our daily lives. You have choice now. In fact, sometimes we are spoiled for the choice. So many, and you're not sure which one you want. So, what is the summary of this kind of a narration that I do before you? There is a reset happening, a major reset, not just in India, probably many more countries as well. But the reset has become so rapid post the pandemic. The pandemic actually has made us sit up and understand what has challenged us. Challenged everything, the way in which we live, the way in which we work, the way in which we move, and the way in which we are consciously talking to each other. Everything has been shuffled up. It's not the same again. But if there is change, and if there is really a reset happening, are we ready for it? Are our education institutions giving us enough material, not just physical material, but substance which can make us a better individual so that we can face these changes, adapt to these changes? Knowledge is about you have it, but you should know to use it the way you should use it and use it rightly so. So today, I take a point which Professor Majumdar said. Are we teaching values? I'm not even talking about which value is right value, which value is not the right value, which value is good for you, which is not good for me. I'm more talking about doing everything the right way. And the right is most often what your heart and what your intuition tells you. Your heart and your intuition shall tell you that at some moments you will have to react and do something, and some other moments you're better off remaining silent and observing what is happening before you. So strictly speaking, values and those which are culturally inherited, each of us in our own countries, in our own backgrounds, are the ones which give you the strength for that intuitive capacity, are the ones which give you the strength to think about what your heart tells you. That is why in our system, we always say jnana along with one other word. That is always to remember that you may have the knowledge, but you should also have the ability to discriminate between this and that, differentiate between good and bad, and that capacity is what makes you wiser. There is this very famous shloka. I've only recently been to Varanasi, so that memory is very fresh in my mind. So allow me. It may sound religious, but the sum and substance of what that shloka conveys to you is what I'm trying to arrive at, is what Professor Majumdar has said, is what values which schools, colleges, universities, and actually before and now families inculcate in people. So when we say, and strictly most families were taught to say it before having their meal in a day, is when we invoke Goddess Annapurni. Annapurni, who's actually the one who gives food for all. So we praise her and say, Annapurni, Sadapurni, Shankara Pranavallabe, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham, Bhiksham Dehi. Oh, Annapurni, give me that arm, the mercy of giving me some food, the kindness, give it to me. And for what? Not for filling my stomach. I need to achieve siddhyartham. I need to achieve something. And what is that siddhi that I want to achieve? Jnana and vairagya. And vairagya is that capacity to remain there but not get too attached. Remain there, observe what is happening between good and bad. So, oh Annapurni, give me the food which will preserve my body, thoughts, and keep me alive. And keep me alive for what purpose? To attain jnana and to be dispassionate about it, also have the ability to differentiate it. Of course, there are very many other creatures which also have the power to differentiate, and that's why Hamsa in Indian philosophy, the swan, the sacred swan, is considered to be the only bird which can, when given milk, which can differentiate the milk and the water in it. So we always treat it as a bird attached to Jnana and Vairagya. Hamsa is always seen next to Saraswati. So there is this constant connect of have the knowledge, but also have the knowledge to differentiate between good and bad. That comes through value. Otherwise, as Professor Majumdar said, you are knowledgeable, but you are not using it for right causes. You're using it for causes which can hurt others. But what is right has also been, in a way, told to all of us. If you are dharmic, meaning if you're doing the right things, you're dharmic. And if you therefore understand dharma, dharma being a very, very space-specific, context-specific, it is not blanket, this is always good and that's always bad. That good and bad also change according to the time, according to the place, according to the situation. There is also an apad dharma, where you do things when you are in a state of sort of difficult position, almost your life is under threat. So the right thing to do at that time will be very different from doing something at a comfortable time. So dharma, therefore, is the doing of the right thing at that moment. So to get that power is gradually to grow it. Families taught what is right. Families showed examples of who do right things at the right time. Now with more and more families becoming nuclear, you really don't get that opportunity. And also in my childhood, and I'm sure a generation afterwards also, but probably now far lesser. In our towns, there used to be evenings of music, kirtan, katha, and so on, which gave us a lot of sit-down comedy, not the stand-up comedy of today, where the person who was telling you the story will also link it up to your today's day-to-day context. So it wasn't always Puranic. It was Purana linked to your current situation also. So all that could grow in you. You could allow it to come back to you whenever you want. But today's age, it is very different. But I was happy to find out there are great people who've led very successful corporate lives and who came back to write about so many things which matter to us. Gurcharan Das is one such a person who I will refer to. He wrote a beautiful book. He was, after all, big man in Procter & Gamble, went around the whole world, came back and said, I'm writing this book on doing things the right way. These are kind of coming back to what was foundationally available for us, available through our grandmothers, grandfathers, through the village, whoever headman, or even through the various traditional upanyasakars who used to come and tell you different stories. But probably today, that is all available on the net. Brilliant people are talking about what things are, how we need to adapt to change. So if you're really adapting to change, keeping yourself ready to adapt to change, some 2 or 3 things which will be useful for all of us. First is to stay rooted. You need to know who you are. You need to know where you belong to. You also need to recognize that that will never go away from you. All of us can pretend being somebody else. And many of us can successfully pretend being somebody else for a very long time. But that's not what you are inherently. And if you know inherently what you are, who you are, that itself is a strength for you because people recognize you are being true to yourself. Pretensions are good for some time, but not always. So remain rooted is one thing which I will tell you, even as I call for all of you all to be ready to adjust and adapt to the ever-changing world. I don't want to repeat a cliche. A lot of people have said this. Change is the only constant. But I've told you how the change has happened in my time. Phone is not phone anymore. I'm able to see films in it. I'm able to attend my class in it, the digital class in it. I'm able to do my banking function in it. I still send my email in it. It's also my currency in a way. So these things have happened within a generation, and all of us have happily adapted to it. So you as students today graduating from this wonderful university, which is giving you an opportunity at one go to be able to interact with people coming from various different cultures, to carry this message that you be ready for change, but be rooted as well. And that's where your strength is recognized by others, but you're also ready to adapt to change. I'm sure all of you all are familiar with a scientist who suffered from a very degenerating disease, Stephen Hawking. He recognized this, and he said, don't resist change. Don't resist change. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. And where does this intelligence come from? After all, from the school, the college, the institutions in which you learn, you acquire knowledge, and as a result, you are intelligent enough to face the change which is coming before you. I was speaking about doing the right thing. I will bring in one more eminent person who said something in that direction, and he's not somebody who belongs to this era. He's not somebody who belongs to this part of the world. So ultimately, the universal truths are similar everywhere. Plato, a great philosopher, he observed, education is teaching our children to desire the right things. You may desire the right things, but you should also do the right things to achieve them, to obtain them. So in other words, on this Convocation Day, I want to put before you the various rapid changes that are happening in the world, rapid changes that are happening in India. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is your slogan. It is a very ancient slogan, which actually saw the world as one family. And today, as the Prime Minister has taken the presidency of G20 from 1st December, with this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam to guide us in the coming 1 year, India's presidency has this as its objective: Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. Whether you're talking about climate, and that is why even, again, I quote from the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, we need to adapt to changes in our lifestyle as well. He's come up with this coinage, lifestyle for environment. Unless we change our lifestyle, again change, and unless we adapt ways in which we can live so that we are not burdening the environment anymore, the world will have serious challenge in the climate-related matters. We are not going to have enough electricity, we are not going to have enough water, we are not going to have enough any earthly resources if we overexploit them. So life, again, is something which is indicative towards change and adapting to change, so that we are able to meet the new changing circumstances created by the climate changes. So, my best wishes to all the students who are receiving their degrees today. I started with Rumi. I also brought in Plato. I've also brought in Stephen Hawking. Indian Vedas and Upanishads have all said this. Unless our knowledge is used with level of discretion and dispassionate or non-attachment to a cause, you're never going to be able to be intelligent or wise enough to be able to contribute to the society and also achieve great things in your own life. So, as I said, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham, all of you all would move forward and take your Jnana and Vairagya along with you so that you contribute to this one earth, one family, and one future. All the very best to all of you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Madam. We now begin with the conferment of doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees and diplomas. Students are requested to kindly remain seated. I invite Dr. Shashikala Gurpur, Dean, Faculty of Law.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees and diplomas on the students who have passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Law at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent. Symbiosis Law School, Pune; Symbiosis Law School, Noida; Symbiosis Law School, Hyderabad; and Symbiosis Law School, Nagpur. Sir, I also request you to confer doctoral degree on the following students: Abhijit D. Vasmatkar and Trupti Manish Rathi.
Thank you, Dr. Gurpur. I invite Dr. R. Raman, Dean, Faculty of Management.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the doctoral, master, bachelor's degree and diplomas on the students who passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Management in the following institutions who are present here, and those who are attending virtually and those who have been permitted to remain absent. Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune; Symbiosis Institute of International Business; Symbiosis Center for Management and Human Resource Development; Symbiosis Institute of Management Studies; Symbiosis Institute of Digital and Telecom Management; Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Pune; Symbiosis Institute of Operations Management, Nasik; Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Bengaluru; Symbiosis School of Banking and Finance; Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Noida; Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Hyderabad; Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Nagpur; and Symbiosis Center for Management Studies, Pune. I also request you to confer the doctoral degrees on the following students: Zericho Marak, Akanksha Goyal, Vikram Kumar, Anupama Tadmarla, Krishna Iyer, Jyoti Kapal, Divya Bhatia, Meher Tadipalli, Ankita Bhatia, Naresh Motiani, Shubhra Deshpande, Subhanshu Nayak, Nirupama Patwardhan, Kuldeep Singh, Prabhu Jayant, Mridul Nath, Bhavna Desai, Hemant Tiwari, Rajesh Gharpure, Sanjay Sahai, Farzan Mazda, Shweta Lamba, Venkata Bhimavarapu, Pali Gaur, Sandeep Kumar, Raghavendra Diolankar, Prashant Ubharhande, Sonia Maini, Trupti Bosle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Raman. I request the students to please remain seated. I now invite Dr. Dhanya Pramod, Dean, Faculty of Computer Studies.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the doctoral, master and bachelor degrees and diplomas on the students who have passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Computer Studies at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent. Symbiosis Institute of Computer Studies and Research and Symbiosis Center for Information Technology. I also request you to confer the doctoral degree on the following students: Manisha Suhas Patil, Preetanga Balesaheb Sandbor, Ketki Abhijit Mehta, Anab Kidway, and Hariharan Anandaraman. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dhanya. I now invite Dr. Rajiv Yadav-Dekar, Provost and Dean, Faculty of Health Sciences.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees and diplomas on the students who have passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Health Sciences at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent. From the Symbiosis Institute of Health Sciences, Symbiosis College of Nursing, Symbiosis School of Biological Sciences, Symbiosis School of Sports Sciences, Symbiosis School of Culinary Arts, Symbiosis School of Open and Digital Learning, and the Symbiosis Center for Health Skills. I request you to confer the doctoral degree on the following students: Aswad Bhushan Devi, Radhika Hedao, Banerjee Rajeshri Rajit, Vishal Nanasaheb Pavitrakar, Kundan Dharma Patil, Pramod Srinivas Joshi, Shweta Pramod Alai, Sushma Dhananjay Zadav, Poonam Vishal Suryavanshi, Devki Gokhale, Anis Sala Mohammad Hassan, Harshada Ketan Thakur, and Akriti Chahar. Thank you.
Clap loudly so that voice can be encouraged. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Yadav-Dekar. I invite Dr. Ruchi Kher Jaggi, Dean, Faculty of Media and Communication.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees on the students who have passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Media and Communication at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent. Symbiosis Institute of Media and Communication, Pune, Symbiosis Center for Media and Communication, Symbiosis School of Media and Communication, Bangalore, and Symbiosis School of Visual Arts and Photography. Sir, I also request you to confer the doctoral degrees on Varsha Pillai, Sneha Samadar, and Jayanti Iyengar. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jaggi. I invite Dr. Jyoti Chandiramani, Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the doctoral, master, and bachelor's degrees and diplomas on the students who have passed the respective examination under the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent: Symbiosis School of Economics, Symbiosis School for Liberal Arts, Symbiosis School of International Studies, and Symbiosis Statistical Institute. I also request you to confer the doctoral degree on Debjani Ghosh.
Thank you, Dr. Chandiramani. I invite Dr. Ketan Kotecha, Dean, Faculty of Engineering.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer doctoral, master's, and bachelor degrees on the students who have passed the respective examinations under the Faculty of Engineering at the following institutes who are present here, those who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent: Symbiosis Institute of Technology, Pune, and Symbiosis Institute of Geoinformatics. Sir, I also request you to confer the doctoral degree on the following students: Rishi Prasad, Sonal Gore, Smita Jadhav, Syed Kasham, Apurva Sastri, Amruta Dixit, Pritesh Supal, Jyoti Tholia, Silpa Adunkar, and Rutuja Patil. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kotecha. I invite Dr. Sanjeevni Ayachit, Dean, Faculty of Architecture and Design.
Chancellor Sir, I request you to confer the bachelor degree on the students who have passed the Bachelor of Design examination under the Faculty of Architecture and Design at the Symbiosis Institute of Design, who are present here, who are attending virtually, and those who have been permitted to remain absent.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeevani. I request all the students to now rise and continue to remain standing till degrees and diplomas are conferred. I request the Chancellor to confer the doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees and diplomas on all the students.
In my capacity as the Chancellor of Symbiosis International University, I hereby confer the doctoral, master, and bachelor degrees and diplomas of all faculties on the successful students present here and on those who have been permitted to remain absent. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to one and all. I now request Registrar Dr. M.S. Shezul to take the proceedings forward.
Chancellor, sir, may I request you to kindly declare the 19th convocation closed.
I declare the 19th convocation closed.
Please rise and join our international students from Afghanistan, Bhutan, Botswana, Sudan, Indonesia, Nepal, Nigeria, and Sri Lanka as they sing a rendition of our national anthem.
Janagana mana adinayaka jaya he Bharat bhagya vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladitaranga Tava Shubha Name Jage तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाता जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
I request the audience to remain standing and not leave the pandal till the procession retires.
Students who recited Janaganaman, please come on the stage to have a photograph with our chief guest, Sitaraman. Thank you so much. It's a rare thing for foreign students to recite India's national anthem. Thank you.